We're here at the Allianz Stadium on this nice, balmy Monday evening. Just here with Mr. Emmet Gates, who does love a Juventus game. Maybe not the last few years, but they look good under Motta. It's currently 2-0. They've had a goal disallowed. We're here for Destination Calcio, Serie A match day 1. The goals, good one from Mbangala. Is that how you say his name, Emmet?
Yeah, Samuel Mbangula, I think.
Yeah, let's talk about Juventus. It's his debut, and he scored in the first, 25 minutes of the game.
I think he's one of the first players in Serie A history to score with his first touch, or first shot on goal.
Wow, well there you go. Interesting stat there. Here come Juventus again on the count. As we take a look, it's a good save from Pep Reina. Not once, but twice, and they're all a little bit upset here, as you can tell. They're upset when Vlahovic's goal got disallowed about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, we thought it was a little bit harsh, but it turns out it was offside at the beginning of the play.
Yeah, so...
It was a lovely header by Vlahovic after...
Yeah, a beautiful ball in as well.
From Cabal, the new signing from Hellas Verona.
Yeah, and they destroyed Napoli in that second half domination on the counter.
At the Ventegati yesterday. We were there to see it, David.
Yeah, we were there. We were there for Parma, Fiorentina on Saturday, and Brescia, Palermo, a bit of Serie B.
Yeah, we've had a busy weekend, 4 games in 4 days in 4 different cities.
It's a Calcio binge. That's what we want to do on Destination Calcio, as Yield is entertaining the crowd out there. Talk us through some of these numbers. Number 51 for Juventus is...
Samuel Mbangula, he's young Belgian. Thiago Motta is clearly trusting youth.
Yeah, he has.
This season. He started him ahead of new signing Douglas Luiz. 50 million Douglas Luiz is sat on the bench.
He's a development coach, Douglas Luiz on the bench, as you said.
Yeah.
So, good-looking team that they put out there. If we have a look at those lineups, as we talk Juventus in this segment, we're going to also talk Como, but that will be another pod separate to this. Currently 2-0. Let's have a look at those lineups. You have a look at live score. I'll have a look at flash score. My trusted source. A yellow card for Salah in this game, but that Juventus lineup, Di Gregorio, new keeper, in goal. You've got Bremer in a 4-man back line, but the captain
is Federico Gatti.
You've got Cambiaso on the right side of defence.
Yeah, because Danilo is usually the captain, but Danilo was on the bench.
Preferred in a 3-man back line, wasn't he, under Allegri?
Yeah.
Cabal coming in at left back. Kefren Turam, his dad Lillian's here.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's going to have a successful weekend with both his sons.
18 years since Thuram Senior made his last appearance for Juve. His son, Kefren, is now starting in midfield, and he's produced a good display so far.
He's been good, yeah.
Alongside Locatelli in the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, Locatelli's been sharp. Yildiz, Mbangala and Timothy Weah brought off at half-time.
He scored a very good goal at the tail end of the first half.
Yeah, really nice finish off the underside of the crossbar.
And obviously Dusan Vlahovic is up front leading the line.
Emmet, Alessandro Gabrielloni, the Como club captain, coming on.
Obviously, David, you've seen more of Como than I have. Do you think it's a good substitution?
Well, he's the club captain. He scored about 10-ish goals last season in Serie B. He's a great finisher. He's a bit more physical than your Cutrones, but Cutrone's still out there wearing the number 10. Gabrielloni wearing the number 9. And Abilgard coming in as well for Da Cunha, who hasn't had it all his own way. In Serie B, he had a lot more time and space. He's not getting that. They're being, I'd say, rushed into a few things, especially in the attacking half, the final third. Juventus sat back in that first 20 minutes, I might add.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's Cutrone bullied off the ball again.
Yeah, I think Cutrone's he's suffered out there. He's realised that this isn't Serie B anymore, and he needs to step up. Obviously, he's playing against a very good centre-back in Bremer and Gatti, but
coming up against the number 1 central defender in the league.
Yeah, Bremer, exactly. So, he's found it difficult, but yeah, Juve weren't, the opening 5 minutes were very attacking, but then it kind of, the game got into like a holding pattern where Juve kind of sat back, allowed Como to have some of the ball, but Juve did more with it when they had it.
Yeah.
But then since the second goal opening, it's been all Juve.
Yeah, exactly. But the first 20 minutes, Como, I think, were marginally in charge, but Juventus sat back. Like you said, they got into the holding pattern and were able to progress from there.
you always got the feeling that Juve were kind of holding Como at arm's length in that, because Como really, Di Gregorio wasn't really tested.
Trying to assess Fabregas's approach to the game.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a nice little turn there, but unfortunately the whistle's already gone. There's another yellow card coming. We saw Salah get one for Como in the first half, and this is going to Locatelli, is it?
Yeah, Locatelli.
So Mambo Locatelli into the book, 58th minute here at Allianz Stadium. We took a little bit of footage before the game, outside the stadium of course, and that's up on our Twitter feed. Will be up. All our socials will be up this weekend. Well, this midweek coming. Also, we'll be launching the Destination Calcio website, and that'll be destinationcalcio.com. And we also saw Lorenzo Bertoni from Football Italia here before the game. Had a nice chat with him. Apparently Nicky Bandini from The Guardian is in-house as well. We're going to be downstairs for the media press conference, post-match press conference after the game. We've seen Juventus hit the woodwork a couple of times. They're looking sharp. Thiago Motta, the man on the replay here.
Yeah, Vlahovic has hit the post, and he's hit both posts in either half.
And the way are hitting the underside of the crossbar, bouncing over.
Yeah,
it was confirmed. Okay, let's have a look at some of the changes coming in for Motta, taking over from Allegri this season. Vlahovic still their focal point up forward. Federico Chiesa on the outer.
Yeah, exactly. His contract's expiring. He wants a certain amount of money to stay. He's not in Motta's plans.
He's not named in the squad.
Not named in the squad.
So
we may have put him firmly on the market. They're just awaiting a bidder, and I think the Chiesa saga, if you call it, I think that'll run and run until the dying days of the window.
Yeah, and we saw Savona come in the second half.
Yeah,
that is Fagioli now warming up. One of the controversial decisions to call him up by Luciano Spalletti for Italy in the Euros. We saw Spalletti in Parma. He chose that game over Inter's game at Genoa. So
I think it's probably, David, as we talked about yesterday, as Parma, he knows what he's getting from Inter, and Inter's Italian players.
Sure.
Whereas Parma is a bit of an unknown thing. He wants to get a fresh look, so I can understand that.
Well, let's start with this starting 11 for Como. They've given that away, and they've put it over the top of the bar. That was Cambiaso, yeah. So the starting 11, let's go to for Juventus. The goal scorer, we'll go to that. Samuel Mbangula.
20-year-old.
20-year-old. He's Belgian, and he's come through the Juventus Next Gen.
Yeah, another youth product of Juve's Next Gen, which has pumped out a lot of talent that has been sold, but obviously he's won Thiago Motta over in pre-season training, and he's given him his first start, and he's been justified with a very nicely taken goal.
He looks very calm on the ball, doesn't he?
He cut in from the left-hand side, opened up his body, and bent the ball with his right foot into the opposite corner.
Who needs Paul Pogba when you've got him coming in?
Yeah, exactly.
And at least he can run.
And we've got Kenan Yildiz, last season's breakout star, now taking over Paul Pogba's number 10 shirt. Obviously, with the Frenchman having his doping ban confirmed for the next 4 years.
Yeah, and he's 19. We saw what he could do last season. We got glimpses of what he could do. A couple of goals in Serie A. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes in the Champions League. Coming from Bayern Munich as well to Juventus in 2022.
Yeah.
What do you think he can get to this season? What's your call in terms of contributions, assists, and goals, and all that kind of stuff?
He could. Obviously, he's still only a kid. He's only 19. He's a big responsibility wearing the number 10 of Juve when you think of all the past greats from Michel Platini, Robbie Baggio, Alessandro Del Piero, even Carlos Tevez, Paul Pogba in his first stint, Paulo Dybala. It's a heavy weight, that number 10. But I think if he gets anywhere between 8 to 10 goals, 8 to 10 assists this season, in either category, that could be a good season, and then you build on it for next season and the season after. He's only 19. People have to remember that. He's still a very young talent, so there shouldn't be too much expectation on his shoulders at this point. Obviously, giving him the number 10 does just that, but people need to keep that in mind.
Sure. And coming in with a few more years behind him is Kefren Turam, son of Lilian. Look, the pedigree's there.
Yeah.
We've seen what Marcus is like.
Yeah, his brother Marcus is at Inter, had a very good first season in Italy last year with Inter, helped him to the Scudetto. Juve were hoping that Catherine can do the same in midfield, and he's did very well so far alongside Locatelli.
Interesting to see that the father's a defender. He's got a midfielder and a striker.
Yeah.
I'm still of the belief that when they played as kids against Dad, they've had to become quite clever with the ball to keep it away from him. Well, hang on here. Surely Abildgaard just came on a few minutes ago, and now Verdi's coming on. So Abildgaard went on, he got injured, now he's off after a few minutes. That's not good news for him. Alberto Chetti is about to come on. He's scored a few in Serie A before. And so Kefren Turam coming from Nice.
Yeah, Nice, 19 million from Nice.
So yeah, 20 million, Cabal for 13 million. And of course the big one on the bench is Douglas Luiz.
Yeah, 50 million. Thiago Motta felt like he wasn't necessary for this game, and it was a shock because everybody, you think when a club spends 50 million on you that you're going to start, but he's put his trust in the youth.
Well, I guess if you want to get minutes into new players, obviously Douglas Luiz is going to be a big part of Juventus' future, that kind of money coming in. Guys like Kefren Turam coming in, big stage, at home, no better way to debut that player than against a newly promoted side from Serie B who are a little bit nervy. They've come here and they did hold their own against Juventus for a lot of the game. Then we saw a little bit of that home stadium advantage come in. They started backing themselves as they came forward. So with the tactics with Thiago Motta, are you expecting to see more of what he showed us with Bologna?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the reason why Juventus hired him. The youth development he gave, there was an identity. It was fluid, attacking and defence. That's the reason why they brought him to Turin in the first place. So I think that's what you see. But again, it will take time. He hasn't got a magic wand. He's not going to make Juve unbeatable and unplayable in the first week, the first 3 months of the season. It's going to take time. But so far, I've seen a lot of positive things from the opening 65 minutes of the season. But then again, with all due respect, the Como, they come up from Serie B. They couldn't have, it's arguably the toughest task in the league, playing Juve in Turin.
Massive
It's a massive baptism of fire. And for the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes, they did hold their own. But Juve's class is just eventually telling now.
Yeah, you see a little bit more confidence in some of the Juventus midfielders' creative license, their ability to adapt in specific situations. That Mbangula goal actually did. There's a long ball into the half space there, Juventus. They do get it back. They want a penalty. Referee says no.
I think that would have been a bit fortuitous.
We all know VAR will have a look at that, but you might hear a roar in a couple of minutes. But we've seen that youth policy was just talking about. Nicolò Savona came on. He's the only substitute used in this game so far by Motta. And this is his debut, and he's willing to give kids a few minutes. We've seen that from a few coaches this weekend. So we saw with Carlo Zanetti yesterday with Verona, bringing in the young French midfielder, I think you pronounce his name's Belayan. So he came in for Sada and did a really good job in the midfield. I thought he was going to be bullied around and maybe intimidated by coming up against Anguissa and Lobotka. You're hearing it here. This is the applause for Kefren Turam.
Yeah, he's been replaced by Nicolo Fagioli.
Yeah, look, Kefren might get a pat on the back from his old man tonight.
Good performance from Turam.
In comes Mr. Bean.
Yeah, Fagioli.
Very stylish hat from Lilian tonight.
Yeah.
Very stylish hat.
Yeah. Oh, it's a stylish man.
So Nicola Fagioli, another product of the youth system, coming in. And look, he's now at a level where the national team coach is going to him. So he's obviously a part of Juventus' long-term future. Same with, well, at least Spalletti thinks that he's good enough to just walk into that squad even without playing that much football behind him. So he's got the qualities that coaches are looking for. So that's Another player who didn't get a start tonight, and to Motta's credit, he's gotten it right against Cesc Fabregas. Although, do you think he would have made some of these decisions to start the likes of a Bangula against maybe a more well-known opponent, a Fiorentina or a Bologna or something?
I mean, it's hard to say. I think he might have, because he obviously trusts in youth. But I think he definitely would have started Douglas Luiz had it been, a more well-established Serie A side, as you said, Bologna, Fiorentina, and Atalanta, Lazio, Roma. Douglas Luiz, I feel, would have started.
He's brought in also Michele Di Gregorio.
Yeah, from Monza.
Possibly last season's best goalkeeper. Hasn't had much to do tonight, so we haven't seen much of him, but we do expect big things from him. We're going to see how he goes in Champions League as well. So it's going to be a transitional season for him to step up to that level as Juventus break out the left wing. Here comes Bangula, wants to turn provider towards that penalty spot, and Vlahovic is not real happy with that delivery. Good header away by Como, who still are hanging in there. You never know, a couple of late goals. We saw already a couple of 2-0 scorelines this weekend, Mr. Gates. Torino and also Genoa sticking it to the big boys.
Holding Inter on Milan to 2-2 draws.
22 minutes to go in stoppages, and it's Yildiz with a corner left side. Juventus going that way. Take a look down. That's a good delivery. Unfortunate header there. Was that
Cabal? The new signing, the Colombian.
Coming up from left back, Look, it was nearly unmarked as well, so a good set piece. How about Thiago Motta's style tonight as we take a look down the touchline there? Well kitted out, a bit debonairish.
It's too hot for me, in this weather. It's about 28 degrees in Turin. And
you've got to say, the Italian journalists, they've come here with the long pants on. And we're just like, nah, give us the shorts.
Shorts and t-shirt. That's the combo we're going for, David.
Coming from a man who puts sunscreen on every 14 seconds.
You got to do these things.
35-degree heat. We've been based in Verona for this trip, and finally getting the train to Turin this morning as Verdi puts a ball in over the head of Cherry. That's unfortunate for Como. But at least a bit of attacking play there, and a ball diagonal into the box from deep. We'll wrap up this Juventus chat soon. However, Federico Gatti is the captain. Is that the decision from Thiago Motta that or just the captain for tonight, Danilo?
I think he's the captain for tonight because Danilo is the captain. He's going to be the captain for most of the season, but Danilo is on the bench by Motta, so Gatti is obviously next in line because he's been here the second longest of the current Juve players, so I think it's just for one night only.
And Juan Cabal, great game, coming over from Verona after 34 Serie A games there.
Beat Inter to signature. Juve paid about 13 million euros if memory serves.
First dibs. No Chiesa, we'll see how that pans out in the coming weeks. So far it is Juventus 2, Como 0, and I'm pretty sure we just look at the match summary. Fabregas has used all his substitutions now with Verdi, Cherry, Gabrieloni and Engelhardt, who came on in the first half, and Abelgard that came on and was subbed off, unfortunately, for Como. Let's see if they can string something together, at least maybe take home a consolation goal. Will be nice, maybe 2. Inter and Milan fans will be hoping for 3. We'll leave it there for the Juventus pod, the first of the season that we'll do. We're here live happily at the Allianz Stadium. Your first time here?
First time here for 10 years. I was here once before in 2014. So Juve beat Chievo, and I haven't been back since. So it's good to be back.
It is a lovely stadium. It is one of the newest of the Serie A sides. 2011 built. Very, very good. The acoustics.
It's very closed in.
You hear
built on the site of the loathed Stadio delle Alpi. This is where it used to be, and now we have a much more modern stadium. We're closer to the pitch, and this is David's first time. This is my second time.
Your first time as a media professional.
Exactly. In a working capacity, this is my first time.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to be here. It won't be the last time we'll be here, David, this season.
It won't be, and we'll be looking forward to your
Calcio.
piece for Forbes this week. We'll do a piece on this. Emmet will write that, and also we'll be talking about it throughout the week. DestinationCalcio.com. We thank you for joining David Ferrini, Emmet Gates.